Welcome, Crypto Fam, to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka, and thanks for joining us today. We've got a great show for you. We're going to go through our market watch, technical analysis, and our top stories for today is Michael Saylor expects things to be different on Inauguration Day. Is another Bitcoin purchase in the works? For sure it is. Also today, survey reveals over 50% of Americans sell gold or stocks to buy Bitcoin. Is this a good idea? And also on today's show, a U.S. debt default would be unconstitutional. Bitcoin is the only way out. And later on in our Ask AI segment, we're going to compare Chat GPT versus Grok, and we're going to create a spreadsheet and graph of Bitcoin price since inception, and then we're going to declare a winner who does it better. All this and so much more on today's show. Welcome, Crypto Fam, to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka. Today is January 19th, 2025, one day before Donald Trump's inauguration. And we're going to see how things go tomorrow with Bitcoin. But today, the markets are all down and crumbling as we speak. Pretty much everything in the red. Things were amazing yesterday. I wonder if the Trump meme coin has something to do with this, killing confidence in the markets, but we'll see how things go tomorrow. I kind of anticipated a pump and dump situation. It's often like that. Sell the news. Everything's great until the actual, pump until the day of, and then things kind of tank on the news. So we'll see what actually happens tomorrow and transpires. It's interesting to watch. On today's show, we are going to talk about Michael Saylor, who it appears is going to do another buy tomorrow. We are going to talk about a story that reveals over 50% of Americans sell their gold or stocks to buy Bitcoin. And the question, is this a good idea? And we're going to talk about the U.S. debt and to see if this is unconstitutional, and it's recommended that Bitcoin is the only way out of this $36 trillion mess. Let's get into our technical analysis. We have Bitcoin in the red. Everything in the red today. Blood red all around. Bitcoin currently at $100,622. Down almost 4%. Ethereum down 4%, 3205. Solana down 4% at $243, and XRP down 8%. It was down 15% earlier, exactly at $3 even. Doge down 12% at 35 cents. Current market cap for Bitcoin, $1.988 trillion. Ethereum right behind them, way behind them at $385 billion. XRP $173 billion. Solana number 5 at $119 billion. Doge still number 7, $52 billion. Cardano number 9, $34 billion. Tron to wrap up the top 10 at $19.5 billion. And our total market cap today is $3.39 trillion, with Bitcoin dominance at 58.62%. Ethereum holding steady, but still way down at 11.36%. XRP at 5.1%, and Solana at 3.5% of the total market share. And moving into our crypto bubbles, we still see the Trump coin and followed by the Millionaire coin. So what happened is the market cap of the Trump coin was approaching $100 billion, and then Melania Trump announced she's going to create her own. She has created her own Bitcoin meme coin, and a lot of the market value of the Trump coin dipped. It basically lost about 50 billion in a short period of time, and a lot of it went into the Millionaire coin, as we see, and everything else pretty much bleeding red, all liquidated into the Trump and Millionaire coin, which is unbelievable. Crypto fear and greed index. Today we were at a 76 greed, yesterday 77 greed, and last week a 61 also in greed, and we have approximately 1,100 days until the next halving in 2028, and we've got 1,187,510 coins still left to mine until the year 2140, where the last coin will be mined, and until the next halving we've got 170,003 coins left to mine. Our global market watch for all assets, no change amongst the top 11 here: gold, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Bitcoin at 1.98 trillion, Saudi Aramco, silver, Meta, and Tesla to wrap up the top 11. And you can currently get 992 Satoshis for $1 US. And the U.S. national debt continues to climb as it does every day. And we have gone up approximately $6+ billion since yesterday at 36,372,548,548,000,000. Debt per person is still at 106,955 and unchanged, up $1 in fact. Debt per taxpayer $323,046. So the Trump / Millionaire saga continues with the new coin that's come out. Millionaire, has to outdo her husband and came out with her own coin. So all the meme coin money seemingly has gone into both of these coins, and everything else is kind of in the red. Interesting how this is playing out. I feel like he came out with these coins on Friday. It would have been better if he didn't do anything. He's, destroying, taking the liquidation, the market cap down instead of going up. Kind of interesting. Hopefully we get a big announcement tomorrow, since he's already messing around with crypto since Friday, Trump. So I feel strongly that he's going to make some kind of an announcement tomorrow, considering what's happened over the weekend. And I believe if he does, then we're going to see Bitcoin and all the markets bounce back up. And actually they could bounce by quite a bit. So hopefully that's the case, and hopefully he doesn't just talk about his Millionaire coin and Trump coin to pump his own interests, and rather he talks about the industry and Bitcoin specifically to, pump the real assets, the real kings of crypto. But we shall see how, he's full of surprises. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Definitely a good day in American history tomorrow, getting Biden out of there and Trump in with some appears to be good policies, and let's hope he follows through with these things, and he should be making America great again if he goes through with all these policies he has planned. Especially we will see on day one. Apparently he's going to do a lot of executive orders on day one, so let's see where that goes. Let's get right into our stories. We've got Saylor expects things will be different on Inauguration Day. Is another Bitcoin purchase in the works? And it's always in the works when he announces something on Sunday. On Monday, there's another Bitcoin purchase. MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor has hinted at another Bitcoin acquisition in a cryptic tweet that also seemingly references President-elect Trump's inauguration. Things will be different tomorrow, Saylor tweeted Sunday. The statement comes on the heels of MicroStrategy's upping its Bitcoin holdings to 450,000. Fred Thiel, CEO of Bitcoin mining company Mara Holdings, and his Vice President of Investor Relations, Robert Samuel, share a similar sentiment. The pair posed for a picture with Saylor at the so-called Crypto Ball on January 17th, an event meant to commemorate the return of Trump, now a crypto convert, to the White House. Our team, in partnership with Saylor, met with the entire incoming cabinet of Trump administration. We're excited about the future of mining in the U.S., Samuel said. Here's some pictures from the ball, and you see J.D. Vance there. And I guess this is the picture. It's a little cut off, but with Saylor and a couple people. Will MicroStrategy add to its coffers? The tweet, accompanied by a screenshot from Saylor Tracker, a platform that monitors MicroStrategy's Bitcoin purchases, carries particular weight given Saylor's recent pattern. His last such hint on January 12th was followed by a purchase on the next day of 2,530 Bitcoin at an average price of $95,000 for $243 million. And with Trump expected to make a crypto-friendly executive order, MicroStrategy's Bitcoin purchase strategy will likely bode well for the software strategy firm. So far, the Tysons Corner, Virginia-based firm inked several purchases since December 2024, and here we are with his purchases in the past month. The company's Bitcoin portfolio has generated an unrealized 67.7% return on investment, representing paper profits of $19 billion. At last check on Sunday, Bitcoin is currently trading at over 106,000. Now it's exactly at 100,000. If Saylor hint returns into another purchase, it would further strengthen MicroStrategy's position as the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. The company's aggressive acquisition strategy has proven particularly profitable in recent months, with most purchases since December showing positive returns ranging from 7.5% to 11%. This potential new purchase would follow MicroStrategy's stated goal of continuing to acquire Bitcoin as a part of its corporate strategic treasury. I agree with what MicroStrategy is doing. I think he's big in the industry, and he's a positive for the entire industry. Absolutely. And I expect another probably substantial purchase tomorrow. A survey reveals in our next story that over 50% of Americans sell gold or stocks to buy Bitcoin. Is this a good idea? Most people who read about cryptocurrencies know that Bitcoin, due to its characteristics, is often referred to as digital gold. A new study reveals that more and more people in the U.S. prefer Bitcoin to gold. The GameFi platform Chain Player conducted a joint survey with Storable. In their study, they asked 1,428 Americans about cryptocurrencies and investments in their lives. According to the report, over 68% of Americans now own some crypto. 77% consider increasing their crypto investment in 2025. 60% of crypto investors believe the value of their assets will double in 2025. The survey shows that 50% of crypto owners are boomers, baby boomers, while 30% are millennials, and the rest are Gen Zs. The report authors conclude that crypto owners get younger. However, it's not clear what digits were used as a reference point. The total lack of Gen X representatives in this report raises questions. Now, that's a real lost generation. Unfortunately, the report doesn't specify that the groups of respondents were and how Chain Play and Storable choose who to survey. According to other sources, only 30% of Americans own crypto as of November 2024. It seems that the number of heavily depends on the methodology. New crypto investment stat. A survey revealed that Trump's victory made a serious impact on people's perception of cryptocurrency, with a 38% of respondents deciding to invest in crypto following the election outcome. A huge amount of these people, 84%, are first-time buyers who decided to try fortunes in crypto after the win of the pro-crypto candidate. Now, it's time to talk more closely about BTC investment insights found in the report. There are three main points. First, 51% of Americans allocate over 30% of their assets in meme coins. Crazy. That's an interesting statistic proving that booming meme token market is no joke. The second point notes that 1/5 of Americans allocate over 30% of their investment in crypto. And finally, the third, nearly 52% of respondents admitted they were selling gold or stocks to invest in Bitcoin. To me, that makes sense. The latter revelation illustrates the tectonic shift in people's minds. Over half of all respondents believe now that Bitcoin is here to stay and it's safer and probably more profitable than gold or stocks. Excuse me. The preference for Bitcoin over gold or stocks was still a marginal mindset during 2017 bull run. Nowadays, when various governments across the globe announce they will mine or stock Bitcoins or use it for international payments, people look at Bitcoin without prejudice. On top of that, the stats mean that these people not only decided to buy some Bitcoin, but they have made an additional step of dumping their traditional assets to invest in Bitcoin first. According to the survey, over 51% of such people are in America. It shows the unprecedented bullishness of digital gold. Bitcoin and gold. The digital gold name has its grounds, of course. Bitcoin bears certain similarities with gold. Both assets are scarce and deflationary. There will not be more gold or Bitcoin in the future. The amount of both assets is finite and isn't likely to increase. You probably heard about the preset Bitcoin mining reward shrinks in two once every 4 years, the so-called halving. The gold mining is decreasing too. However, the speed at which the gold mining drops is far behind Bitcoin's increasing scarcity. Experts speculate whether humanity reached the gold peak point at a moment after which gold mining will be constantly dropping. In the Bitcoin case, the Bitcoin peak was in the first years, and then production has always gone down, making Bitcoin scarcer than gold. When gold mining drops by a couple of percent, Bitcoin may drop by 50%. Moreover, after every coin is mined, Bitcoin may be going to the moon. And the gold diggers may literally start mining gold on the moon, increasing the total supply available for the Earth's markets. While gold gets increasingly scarce due to its use in devices, jewelries, and other products, Bitcoin get lost or blocked forever. The speed at which Bitcoin gets stuck has been so high that in 16 years of Bitcoin's existence, approximately 20% of all units are considered lost. Yeah, I've said that many times. According to businessman and TV personality Mark Cuban, Bitcoin became a store of value and reached an acceptable level comparable to gold. Both he and MicroStrategy's frontman Michael Saylor point out that the contrast to gold, Bitcoin is easy to transport and generally control. Saylor once offered a thought experiment in which we should imagine trying to bring a substantial amount of gold or cash to an airplane. The airport officers will treat the owners as thieves. The same happens if we try to send a large amount of money abroad via wire or transfer. Saylor notes that unlike traditional assets, Bitcoin provides owners with autonomy and control over their funds. In another instance, Saylor noted that the gold era ended in the 16th century when other means of payments became more popular. However, Mark Cuban's estimation, in which he rather puts Bitcoin in line with gold, seems to be less maximalist, as people still invest in gold while it's obvious that it is Bitcoin, not gold. That is going through the blooming phase. The possible downside of Bitcoin is higher volatility and shorter market history. However, as of 2025, its ups have always been more prominent than downs. So this article basically says people are taking their money out of gold, they're taking their money out of stocks, and they're putting them as, percentage, 30% or so into Bitcoin. They make a strong point with the Bitcoin finite supply, and they also are suggesting that every year, and I know it's a fact, there's less and less gold that's found, a smaller percentage. Every year, the max they have found is about 2% more gold. Now, eventually they're going to run out of finding gold. There's going to be none left anywhere. But what could happen is they'll go out into outer space and they'll mine an asteroid. If they come back, if they go to an asteroid and mine, 100 billion ounces of gold, what's that going to do to the price of gold on Earth? It's going to drive the prices way down. Suddenly, It's not going to be this finite supply. It's going to be everywhere, and gold is going to turn to nothing in value. Let's move on to our next story of the day. A U.S. debt default would be unconstitutional. Bitcoin is the only way out. Political support grows for Bitcoin reserve concept as a practical solution to the U.S. financial woes. The 14th Amendment and the debt limit. The debt limit is the amount of money the United States government can borrow to pay its existing legal obligations. These include Social Security and Medicare benefits, military salaries, interest on the national debt, tax refunds, and more. In June 2023, the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023 suspended the debt limit through January 1st, 2025. The U.S. Treasury anticipates that sometime thereafter, say, somewhere between January 14th and January 23rd, the U.S. government would be required to take extraordinary measures to not default on its obligations. After all, default is not an option. In Section 4 of the 14th Amendment, the U.S. Constitution reads that the validity of public debt of the United States, authorized by law, shall not be questioned. The amendment was adopted in 1868. Talk about archaic. A Congress during Reconstruction adopted Section 4 after the Union borrowed by issuing federal bonds as a means of financing the Civil War and pensions for Army veterans who fought in the war. The Democratic Party at the time, run by former Confederate slaveholders, announced that it intended to deny the bond obligations if it gained control of Congress in the coming 1868 election. Congress adopted Section 4 and the states ratified to avoid a partisan default. The debt limit would cap the funds that can be borrowed to meet the government's financial obligations. The 14th Amendment's public debt clause mandates that the federal government meet its financial obligations. The public debt clause could be violated in the event that government actions undermine confidence about the validity of the public debt. This might happen when the government falls short of defaulting in or repudiating the public debt. A test to determine if considerable debt arises might entail an analysis of the political and economic environment and the attitude of debt holders. Billionaire Elon Musk has shed light on spiraling U.S. debt issues. We either fix this or we go Demarco bankrupt, Mark posted to X. Musk, who President-elect has tapped as the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has claimed that DOGE could cut $2 trillion from annual spending at a time when the national debt sits at $36 trillion. We look at that every day. And counting. Lockdown measures led to an increased stimulus measures and economic government spending, which sent inflation in 2022 to over 10%, forcing the Federal Reserve to hike interest rates. Bitcoin is the only way out. Since bankruptcy is not an option by law, Bitcoin is the only way out for the U.S. runaway debt situation. It appears as if Musk and Trump may agree. After all, Tesla holds approximately 10,000 Bitcoin worth about $1 billion on its balance sheet. And in May, Trump said he could use Bitcoin to pay off the debt with a little crypto check. Trump has promised a strategic national Bitcoin reserve and predicted Bitcoin would outgrow gold's 16 trillion market capitalization, which is actually 18. In December, Trump confirmed plans to establish a U.S. Bitcoin reserve. We're going to do something great with crypto, Trump said, because we don't want China or anybody else but others embracing it. And we want to be ahead, Trump told CNBC. Senator Cynthia Lummis, who has even introduced a bill earlier this year called the Boosting Innovation, Technology, and Competitiveness through Optimized Investment Nationwide Act. So it's an acronym, Bitcoin. Boosting Innovation, Technology, and Competitiveness through Optimized Investment Nationwide Act. The act proposes the U.S. purchase 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years to decrease the 35 trillion U.S. debt. It's highly likely that a Bitcoin reserve will happen within months of Trump taking office. The Ammous bill requires the U.S. purchase 1 million Bitcoins, which is worth approximately 16 trillion at current prices. That is incorrect. Then presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy also proposed a 4 million Bitcoin, which is worth 56 trillion. I think they mean billion here, 16 billion and 56 billion. Because the total market cap of Bitcoin is, 2 trillion. So if they're buying 4 million Bitcoin, it's not 56 trillion. The U.S. has the opportunity to make a financial play which could cover the national debt. The U.S. government can front-run the world on Bitcoin and secure its place as a global superpower. Yeah, so I believe in that, with everything except the numbers, which don't add up. But the 1 million in Bitcoin, yes, Trump announced that. Cynthia Lummis and Trump suggested that, and Kennedy Jr. did suggest 4 million Bitcoins. So let's see it happen. I hope it does happen, and things might get quite a bit brighter on the, even brighter than things have already been on the Bitcoin slate. We'll see how things go over the next coming weeks and months, but I anticipate some good news and some bullishness. And furthermore, this is the year after the halving, so traditionally we've seen the height of the Bitcoin price the year after the halving toward the middle and end of the year. So I'm pretty excited about that, and everybody should look forward to the Bitcoin price and the crypto market on a whole increasing. Generally, once the price of Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up. It brings the price up, even of the, meme coins and altcoins and shit coins and every kind of coin. Let's move into our next segment now, Ask AI. So over here, I've already pre-populated the question we're going to ask it today, and it's going to be in the show notes, so if you want it, please take a look. And we are going to use Grok, we're going to use Chat GPT, and we are also going to plug it into Claude AI. And the prompt is similar to yesterday, but broken down a little more and making it a little more simplistic for the AIs to understand. The prompt is create a spreadsheet that shows Bitcoin price month by month since inception and also include the halving dates. Additionally, add a graph at the top showing the information in the spreadsheet. So we are going to plug that into all three models that we're going to use. I'm bringing Claude up into the picture here, and we are going to run on all three. Now, we did this yesterday, and Grok doesn't know what to do with it. It basically tells you to create its own spreadsheet. Claude kicks ass. As you see, it's already spinning things up, showing you what it's doing on the right. It's creating its spreadsheet month by month. The problem with Grok is Claude is I found that it couldn't do it didn't have the latest information. And there, ChatGPT's come back, and you've reached your data analysis limit. Upgrade to ChatGPT Plus or try again after 9:38. So disappointment with Grok and ChatGPT, and the clear winner here is Claude, who's still plugging away and has come up with, error while trying to generate the artifact. Interesting. But here, Bitcoin, click to open component, and So an error occurred while trying to run the generated artifact. Unexpected token, expected, can you fix this error? Bitcoin monthly prices. So somewhere it's not finding the Bitcoin monthly prices. And on Chat GPT side, it's saying please pay for the full version, which is terrible. And on the Grok side, they're basically saying, sorry, I can't do it. Create your own chart. But we allowed Claude to continue, and it has come back with the information. But this is this only goes to 2023, 2013, I should say. So very disappointing for all three of them, which is surprising. This is public information. Nonetheless, we're going to give it another crack at some point. It seems, the GPTs until now haven't let us down at all, but they've let us down big time with this specific spreadsheet creation, which we've asked now a couple times, and none of them come back with the proper information. A little surprising, because everything else has been solid so far, including creating, amazing things and amazing images, and like check out the images we've done, and we've even created together amazing images. It's done other types of spreadsheets, but once we give it something kind of complicated, it's having some trouble. We'll leave it at that, and I want to remind everybody that money is abundant and money is everywhere, and time is what's scarce. Spend less money than what you earn, and if you suddenly make more money, save more money. Don't spend more money. The younger you start saving, the better, and that way you can retire by the time you're 40. If you have a great idea, start your great idea today. Even if you're not ready, start today, and things will slowly come together. I want to reiterate the book of the week, which was and is the Fastlane Millionaire, the Millionaire Fastlane by M.J. Demarco. If you haven't read it yet, I suggest you give it a read. It really turned the page for me and helped me understand that we're all in the slow lane. We're all doing things. 99% of us are doing things maybe the way the government wants us to do it, and not being, having that entrepreneurial outlook and doing things ourselves, becoming the top dog in the company and the founders, because the founders really are the ones that are making all the money, and everybody under that is kind of, they're the sheep that follow the primary leader. Give it a read. It's really, really good. The links are in the notes. If you found this stream enjoyable, please share, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next show, folks. Thanks so much.